Welcome into Buckets. It's your guy Jay Money here. We here with our guy Michael Fiddle as well, man. We're live from our Tommy John studios as always, man. Can't wait to break down this show. This is my first time hosting here on Buckets here, and I couldn't find a better guy to do it with our guy Michael Fiddle. Fiddle, how you doing, brother? Everything cool with you?
I'm doing well. Long time no see, my friend. It feels like it's been, 6 hours since we last talked through a slate of NBA basketball?
Yeah, if you guys don't know, me and my guy Fiddle, we hook up on my YouTube show, man. Fiddle also does a show as well. Make sure you guys are following us both on Twitter, man, YouTube, all that good stuff. Obviously, also go download the Action Network app. Make sure you're following on YouTube as well, man. Leave us some comments. Leave us some 5-star reviews on Apple music, all that type of stuff, man. So wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you give us a 5-star review and also drop some comments as well. Let us know what you think about the show in the YouTube comments, man. But Fiddle, as always, straight to business, my guy. What's going to be your best bet for the Tuesday night NBA slate?
My best bet is Miami Heat -3.5 at the Chicago Bulls. And Jay, I like this twice as much as I normally do, so I actually bet 2 units on it.
Okay, 2-unit banger coming from our guy Fiddle here. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a tough card for me, so I am gonna go with a total in this one. We'll talk the game out as well. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Mavericks and the Philadelphia 76ers to go over 224.5 in that one. We're gonna break down this Sixers and Mavs game. We'll talk about that. Talk about Fiddle's pick as well. Why he's liking this play as a 2-unit spot with the Bulls against the Bulls in this one, Bulls versus Heat. And then we're also gonna dibble and dab and talk about a little bit of Lakers and Clippers as well, man. Obviously, Lakers just made a huge trade. Their main guy Luka won't be in this one, but we're still gonna break it down. So, first game up, Fiddle. Let's go to your spots, and you seem like you liking this spot, Fiddle. What are you liking here, man? Bulls facing the Heat here.
It's pretty simple, Jay. Like, given the Bulls trade of Zach LaVine and the pieces that they got back, and I don't expect those guys to be playing tomorrow, so it's going to be a shortened rotation. But they really just signaled to the rest of the league, and more importantly to us bettors, they're kind of throwing in the towel, finally. The Bulls finally entering a true rebuild. They reacquire their own pick, and they remove the protections that they had sent out in those trades. So the biggest piece of this is that now the Bulls own their pick, and hopefully it will improve for them in what's supposed to be a really good draft class incoming this season. So it's just like, to do that, this team's going to have to start to lose, and they're going to start to rely on guys like Buzelis and Desumnu and playing a lot of those guys. They might ship out Vucevic if someone calls at the deadline in the next couple of days. So I really think the Bulls are going to take a huge step back, and I want to get out in front of it. So I feel like playing the Miami Heat against the spread, actually not dealing with the Jimmy Butler stuff, have sent him home. When you go on the road with that team, kind of leave the drama behind. There's no like, is he going to show up today? What's going to happen today? So they're actually, it's like kind of better to get this Heat team on the road right now. You get a discount on the price. I expect this closes probably close to 5. So love the Miami Heat in this spot.
Yeah, we can already see it starting to move to 4.5 at some places as well, man. So, as always, try and get the best number. Try to shop around, man. As my guy Fiddle likes to say, you should have as many outs as possible, man. It's cool to have one book, your favorite book or something like that, but you probably should try to get as many of those as possible, just so you can always shop the better lines. If there's one place may have -120, another place might have -113. In the long run, those things really add up over there, man. So, like you said, the Heat have actually won 3 of their last 4 games as well. They're coming off 2 days of rest. Man, this Bulls team, Fiddle, I just feel like all year they've been overachieving. Even sitting at a 21-29 straight up record, they've still been overachieving. Like, this team was supposed to be one of the bottom 3 teams in the East, and so basically what you're saying is now they're going to start cratering down to that type of team. They're only 3-7 straight up and in against the spread in their last 10 games, man. So they might go on a streak where they lose 9 or 10 straight games. I could definitely see it, just to get them kind of caught up in the race to the bottom, if you will. I don't really like talking about it, you know what I mean? But the people that bet the NBA these days, they know what we mean. The race to the bottom is kind of the race to the top for the best draft pick over there, man. So Bulls, and also like you said, the trade deadline is near. You never know. A lot of teams are really trying to get Vucevic over there. Guys like Patrick Williams, they already waived Torrey Craig, but possibly could have got some for him as well. He's a kind of a 3-and-D wing that some teams were trying to get as well. So we know that Vucevic is getting shopped literally like every minute. So don't be surprised if Vucevic possibly sits out or gets traded as well, which would really take a toll on the Bulls on offense. And also whenever they had Levine in there with him on the floor, they had like the number 8th offensive rating in the league. With him off of the floor for the Bulls, dead last, number 30th offensive rating with Levine off the floor. As you can see, a few games they've had without him, they've really struggled offensively here. We expect that to keep going here. So Fiddle, like in Heat, land the 3.5, 2-unit banger spot in this one. I like it, Fiddle. I'll probably be following you in this one, my guy. Let's head over here to the streets of, not too far from Chicago. Let's head to the streets of Philly in this one. The sad streets of Philadelphia here, Fiddle. The Sixers, this has not been a great season for them. 19-29 straight up, not tanking, but also sitting outside of the playoff race right now as well, man. Are actually going to have to win some games just to get into the play-in tournament over there, Fiddle. Who would have thought? Joel Embiid and Paul George missing half the season here, but shout out to Maxey, though. Maxey showing up every night. He's balling. You can't stop him. You better try and double team Maxey because you cannot stop him, Fiddle. But Sixers, quietly, 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games, Fiddle. We know that the Mavs, coming off of a major loss last game, 144-101 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, got absolutely smacked up. Now, they were resting a bunch of your guys. No Kyrie, no PJ Washington, no Gafford as well. No Luka, pun intended, but nah, he's injured. That was before he got traded. But I'm going to rock with the over here, Fiddle. Wanted to play the Mavs, but the Sixers have been hot. I do have this thing that I do. I back teams when they come off a 40-point loss. And it works well for me. It's hitting like at a 75-80% clip this season. It's like a major bounce back spot here, but I want to go with the total. But that way I don't have to fade either team that are in bet on spots, in my opinion. Mavs, 6 of their last 7 games have went over the posted total, Fiddle. You are more of a total better than I am. What do you think about this game in general? What do you think about the total? What do you think about the side?
Early markets definitely agreeing with you, Jay. We were seeing this as low as 222.5 up to 224.5. So definitely some movement to the over and justified post the Luka trade. And with Kyrie going to be back, that Luka trade actually happened the night before the Cleveland Cavaliers game. And then you would have to imagine all of the players were up all night talking about it, scrolling Twitter, just like the rest of us, like I was up till 3-4 in the morning, just like off NBA Red Bull. So it's just like, I imagine what the Dallas players were thinking and talking about. You couldn't have expected them to play. It was pretty obvious that they were going to sit everybody in what was a guaranteed letdown spot against Cleveland. So now all of those guys are rested. But what really is the thing here is that the Mavericks become an over team when Luka's sitting. That's why you said a bunch of their games recently have cashed while he's been injured. When Kyrie takes over for the focal point of their offense, they play a lot faster. Despite Luka being very efficient offensively, he likes to hunt matchups. He likes to slow down the pace. He likes to work you off of his back hip and get you into his spots and then shoot a little fadeaway too in your face. And it's efficient, but it's slow. So you generally see slower games when Kyrie comes in, market pops up because they're like, there's a expected jump in pace from the recent sample size and the stats that are provided for the Mavericks for like the bulk of their games with Luka. So it's like, okay, let me look towards overs for this spot. I also agree to do that before Anthony Davis shows up. When their interior defense is going to be improved, they're going to be missing Lively. They're probably not going to have Anthony Davis. So they're relying on Gafford, and then you're probably going to play some smaller lineups. You're going to be playing more Najee Marshall. You're going to be reliant more on Clay on the 3. You're going to be playing more Dinwiddie and Kyrie together and Jaden Hart, like all of these guys. So I think this is a clear over spot. Definitely agree with it.
Yeah, the Mavs don't have a backup center. You have Gafford once he goes out of the game. Then they're having to put PJ Washington at the center position, which doesn't really give you a ton of size and paint protection down low. So, I mean, both teams are really in their position. These two teams, we know in today's NBA, they want to shoot a lot of threes. They actually can have a lot of success in paint points in this particular game. Both teams should have at least 50 paint points, in my opinion, because Yabusele, he's not really a real center. He can play center like a stretch five, but he's really like a glorified power forward out there. Really could even pass for a stretch three. You know what I mean? So he's kind of in between that 3-4 hybrid big. They're running him at the five without Joel Embiid, which I believe Joel Embiid is questionable here, but I can't say that would really hurt the total because he'll bring some offense, but he's like Luka. He'll
It's the same thing.
slow the game down a lot.
It's
Exactly.
the exact same. Yep. And he's also a rim protector. So, unlike Luka, he's actually, we'll have to check on Embiid when he starts playing if he's still a rim protector. But historically, he is a guy who, changes shots defensively. So I don't know if Joel has too much of an impact on the total right now.
It's just so funny because he sees everybody getting traded. Luka get traded. You know what? Hey, I'm good now. My leg's good now. Whatever, everything's good. I can play. I just went through a full practice. You know what? Please don't trade me to the Wizards or something. You know what? I can play, and we're about to get it back going. So yeah, that could possibly change things. I'm not gonna lie. Just me being honest. If Embiid does play, I won't like the over as much. But this is still a spot where I think that the Mavs come out a little pissed. Even without pretty much their whole starting lineup, they still put up 1-on-1 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if they could do that, we know that the Sixers are going to run and gun with Maxey. The pace hadn't really been there the last 5 games, but I think that's more of some of the teams that they've been playing. In my opinion, but they did go 271 points with the Nuggets over there, man. So I just feel like this spot we're going to see plenty of offense. Maxey, the guys, Yabusele, they still got Kelly Oubre. They can give you 15 to 20 a night as well. And then if Embiid does play, I mean, there could possibly be another 20, 25 points there. But definitely expecting Kyrie, Clay, PJ to come out here with a chip on their shoulder. The grieving process is over, Fiddle. Luka's gone. You got to get over it. It's your time to ball down. You're going to have AD coming in here. Look, it's done. I know you might be hurt or people might be grieving. The fans were like literally out at the American Airlines Center, like lighting candles and stuff. And Luka's like, bro, like he died or so he's still alive, man. That was kind of crazy. There
were legitimately rest in peace Luka Doncic signs out there.
Yeah, man.
Okay, the one thing I'll say to that is like when you actually step on the court, right? Everyone says that this is their place where their mind gets at ease when they have stress going on in their life. They stop thinking about it when they're on the court. When you're actually on the court, when you're actually in the competitive environment, when you actually get the ball in your hands, you're not thinking about the Luka trade. You're there to play basketball. So once the tip goes up, I would expect the Mavericks to still be this version of the Mavericks.
Facts. Yeah, and I'm not lying. I do lean to the Mavs here as well. And you know what? I think if Joel Embiid comes back here, I'll probably end up on the Mavs. Like, go ahead, shoot this line up to 4.5, 5. We know when the star player comes back, they're not in shape. They're going to throw the rotations off, right? The team has been used to not playing with Embiid, and then you're going to shoot the lineup as well. I'll probably end up. I'll hope that Embiid comes here, and I'll take the Mavs plus the 4.5 plus the 5 here in my coveted 40-point loss bounce back J spot here. I could only look towards the Mavs coming off that horrible loss. They need to start to stack up some wins here. Luka's gone. It's time to look towards the future now, man. So. Fiddle, if you don't mind, man, let's go over here and talk about one more game, man. Let's go over here and go to the streets of LA real quick, man. We're not too far from it, but let's go to this to the Clippers stadium arena over there with the wall there. I forgot, was it the Intuit Dome over there, Fiddle? Let's go over there. Huge game, man. Clippers land 7.5 at the house versus the Lakers. Both of these teams coming off of West Coast road East Coast road trip. Fiddle, what do you think about this game?
So, Jay, this line opened at 6 and 5.5 some places. Clippers as a shorter favorite than they are now. I always talk about this. Key numbers in the NBA. 6 is the most common outcome in the NBA the last 3 seasons. So if a number is moved from 5.5 or on the 6 at some books where the open there, and now it's 7.5, and it's moved that much, to me, I can only do the most Fiddle thing you could possibly do in this situation and play the money line. and say, okay, I understand that the market has moved in that direction. I understand that the sharp signals are towards the Clippers in this spot. I don't possibly know how the Lakers are going to have a realistic defensive effort in this game, given the pieces that they just gave up. I know Anthony Davis wasn't playing recently, but Max Christie was, and he's been balling on the defensive end, right? So I think they're going to be heavily reliant on Jackson Hayes to go against a Clippers team that's absolutely rolling right now. This is a very, very, very strong Clippers spot, but because of the number, I would rather play it from the money line or look towards something in the props department when those lines come up. But I have trouble playing a -7.5 or longer on the side that I want when the total is also like 216 or something. It's a low total. So you're asking for Clippers to do a lot of work in a low scoring game.
Facts. Yeah, this is my problem here. So the Clippers have won 7 of the last 10 matchups versus the Lakers, right? So the Lakers are, I'm sure, like after owning the Clippers for so long, now the Clippers lately have owned the Lakers. So this is a big game for JJ Redick as well to show that he can get over that hump. So they lost earlier this year, actually, January 19th, 2025. They lost 116 to 102. And this is my problem with this one. As I mentioned, both teams are coming back off of an East Coast road trip. Clippers are coming back from Toronto. They only had 1 day of rest, whereas the Lakers are coming back from New York. A big win in New York, I might add, is 11-point underdogs, which they did need Max Tracy there. It's a great point. They came off of a 5-game East Coast road trip, but they actually have 2 days of rest to get back used to playing these late night games, to get back used to the pretty much 3-4 hour time difference as well. So with that extra day, in my opinion, that gives a nod to the Lakers. Also, everyone's talking about, the Luka Doncic trade. I'm going to bet the Lakers to win a championship. Well, that means that they're going to have to start piling up wins, in my opinion, with Luka, because he's not going to be back. I think he said they're going to target February 8th. Who knows? When he does come back, it's going to take a few games for them to get used to the chemistry. Remember, you have 3 guys over there that need the ball in their hand to show their worth, to show their ceiling. That's Austin Reeves, that's Luka, and that's LeBron. Neither one of these guys are good at just standing on the wing waiting for the ball to come over there. They're going to have to figure this out. So in my opinion, this is a big spot for the Lakers to possibly try to steal a win, to try to keep the momentum going. They're 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games, man. The Clippers have pretty much owned them. I still think that the Lakers have some tools that could possibly bother the Clippers over there, man. Jackson Hayes is not a bad center. He's going to bang with Zubac down there. You still have Rui Hachimura, still a great defensive player. Yeah, you miss Christie, but you still have Dorian Finney-Smith. Great, hell of a wing defender. You got back Jared Vanderbilt. I know that he's on a somewhat of a minutes limit. He's still an outstanding defensive player. Jared Vanderbilt is out there literally just for defense. Literally, just for defense, man. So they have some guys coming off the bench, man. If you can get a few threes from Gabe Vincent, a few threes from Dalton Connect as well, I still feel like they have a squad that can compete with the Clippers. They may not have enough to beat them outright, Fiddle, but getting 7.5 with an extra day of rest, with both teams coming from East Coast road trips and same season revenge, I just feel like I do lean to the Lakers there. But I must say, it wasn't a spot that I bet. Obviously, with them, the whole Luka news, one thing I wanted to say, Fiddle, I never know what to do with the Lakers, bro. Never. I mean, they were supposed to get smacked versus the Knicks, and they went outright as 11-point underdogs, man. I can't gauge this team whatsoever. When I think they're gonna do good, they do bad. Then when I think they're gonna get smacked up, no, that's when they win outright as 11-point underdogs. You see them go to Philly, laying 4.5. They lost the game by 14. We're literally down the whole game, Fiddle. So those are my last thoughts on that one.
Lakers have had times this season where they've been great offensively and miserable defensively. Then they have times this season where they're miserable offensively and fantastic defensively. Now they make a huge trade. It's just like, how are they going to come out in the next game? Right? Was the game in MSG where they dominated just LeBron showing out because he knows when to show up, and it was a game in MSG, one of his last times ever being there? There's so many it is really tough, but I would agree with you, Jay. At this point, with where the number is, like 7.5, there's no way I'm laying that on the Clippers. I do like the Clippers money line, but if I was going to play a points angle, I would play Lakers. So we could both be right in this instance.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. And I just get into the mindset. If I'm a Lakers player, I'm happy. Like we just got Luka. You're not maybe the Mavs are grieving, but if you're the Lakers, you got to be kind of happy, right? Obviously, AD left, but I mean, you're getting a 25-year-old guy that can go. That's like a walking triple double, man. So if I'm the Lakers players, I'm happy. I'm giddy. You know what I'm saying? I got some pep in my step, and I'm ready to show what I can do for this team, so they don't trade me next. That's how I would be looking if I'm a Lakers player, but. Hey, we just talked out three really big games on the card, my guys. Really great show with my guy Fiddle, as it always is, man. If you guys know, you can check out the YouTube channel. Me and Fiddle are live on there every day. I mean, every Monday over there as well. But also, download the Action Network app, man. It's a really great app. I'll use it. They have odd screens. You can check out sharp action, big money plays, man. We have this podcast on there, different college basketball, literally whatever sport you'd like to bet. If you like betting sports, I don't know why you wouldn't have the Action Network app on your phone. You can use the website. Like I say, we have the YouTube channel as well, man. If you're watching this on the YouTube show, make sure that you leave us a like button as well. To recap, I am taking my best bet is the Mavericks-Sixers over 224.5. And also Fiddle liking the Miami Heat -3.5 versus Chicago Bulls, two unit banger. And I'm likely riding with my guy Phil and Nelwyn, guys. That's the show. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. No matter where you're listening to us, make sure give us a like, leave a comment, give us a 5-star review, and we will be back tomorrow night for more buckets.